So welcome back, family. We're here finally with another grading reveal. This one is predominantly going to be from CGC, although I do have a special PSA reveal, sort of pseudo reveal for this, more I guess showing off what I got. So let's go ahead and start with that. And again, if you like content like this, please let me know by hitting a like and subscribe. So first off from PSA, just a single card submission here. It's a fairly big card, and I was more or less wanted to show in terms of why I chose to go with the approach that I went with here. So let's get this out of here real quick. As you can see, here is a Miles Morales from Topps Disney Genesis. This is the Silver Circles 1 of 1 here, and I did choose just to authenticate this and get this slab. So a couple of reasons why. First off, it's a 1 of 1. So regardless, this is going to be the only one you have it. Just want to make sure it's more or less preserved and protected more than anything else. And why I didn't choose to have the numerical grade is this set is actually notoriously tough to grade. Last time I saw, the gem rate is less than 10%, with it predominantly going in the 8 or 9 ranges here. So looking at this card, I knew there was going to be some defects with it, mainly this like bottom corner and actually the bottom edge, as well as the back had a handful of just surface issues that I noticed that if it got an 8, I probably would have just had it graded, but there was a good chance this would get in the 7 or less. So that's why I went just to authenticate and get a slab, but still a great card. I love the artwork they chose for this Genesis set of Miles. So there you go. Silver Circles, just authentic, but there you go. On to the main event. So about 2 months ago, I submitted this, and you see here, this is a 42 card submission that I had through CGC. It took a little over 2 months, and this was submitted about a month, actually roughly the same time as my last PSA submission, which I'm actually still waiting for. Again, as with the previous one, this is going to be a good mixture of different sets from Marvel and Looney Tunes and Star Wars, so we should get a good variety of things to look at and see if we can't get any more of those Pristines that we were able to get one of them last time. But as always, these are going to be either some of the higher end cards that I didn't think that I was going to gem at PSA, or just cards that I thought value-wise it'd be better to submit through CGC again, especially with the most recent price upcharge for PSA. It really is basically half the cost. So here we go, and we're going to start. Okay, so if I remember, that's the start of it. Let's go backwards. So here is going to be from most recent Star Wars Galaxy here, 75, Way of the Mandalore. And this one got a gem at 10. Cool. So one of the Way of the Mandalore prisms to 75. This is here, 37 of 75 got a gem at 10. Now I do believe I submitted 2 of these in here, but we're starting off with a gem. Here's the 8 out of 75 right here. And this one got a 9. So one got a 9, one got a gem. I'm fine with that. And love this art for Mandalorian right there. Should have some more Star Wars in here, including right here from High Tech. This is one of the short printed inserts, the Species. You can see Shaak Ti here. Togruta right there. I believe these are 250. This is probably the base to 50. Actually, to 25. Spectacular Species, and this one also got a 9 on the short printed insert out of this year's High Tech. Okay, so starting with a couple 9s and a gem. Staying on the high tech, we have our 5 D4 on the green. These I believe are to 10. This one also gets a 9 on the Death Star exterior. Where's my serial number? Should be the... I believe these are to 10. I just can't see where the serial numbering is. Oh, it's up here. Yep, 9 out of 10 up there. Death Star exterior, I believe is one of the most rare patterns in high tech. But R5 on the quote-unquote force sensitive droid. There you go. And speaking of other droids, the most popular R2-D2 on an orange 225. Again, from that high tech set, this one only gets an 8.5. One thing I do say about these acetate cards, do favor these acetate cards in the CGC holders. Again, the more clear slab combined with kind of the clear card really does make it pop a little bit more. I noticed that when we had the Quick Strike from Clear Retro Looney Tunes last time, but do like that look. So highly recommend it if you're going for that look. So there's our first 8.5, unfortunately, on our, I think one of our bigger high-tech cards that we submitted to CGC. All right, staying with CGC, we have a nice big Padme here, again to 25. On the, I believe these are the laser, or hyperspace. This is the hyperspace, again, another 8.5. On the hyperspace, the 25 orange of Padme. So the bigger characters didn't get the best grades there, but hopefully we'll turn it around. Next, right, again, like with here, we have a Lando. Again, we submitted a couple of Landos the last time from high tech. This one's the orange. This one gets a 10 on the Death Star exterior orange to 25. There we go, cool. I believe we gemmed the last one. I think it was a gold that we gemmed the last time. So 3 9s, 2 10s, and 2 8.5 so far in our Star Wars, or Star Wars heavy to start off with. Staying in the high-tech realm, here's a Cad Bane gold. I believe this is the laser pattern. It is, and this one also gets a 9 on the Cad Bane. Here we go. So let's see, still got some more to go here. Here's a Bo-Katan. This is a gold to 50. Also on the laser pattern, this one only got an 8. So we got an 8 gold of Bo, which I think this is the one of the lowest that we've gotten so far out of our submissions. I'm trying to remember if we got an 8 last time. I thought we got mostly 9s and then a couple 8.5s. All right, on to some our bread and butter. Here's some Topps Chrome Marvel. Here's a Black Widow here. Again, depending on the parallel, this could just be a higher number parallel or just one of those cards that I didn't think was gonna gem. I also have some sapphire on here. This might be the sapphire. It is. It's a gold sapphire to 50 that got a 9. Mint 9 on the Black Widow gold sapphire. So there you go with that. Again, more 9s leading the way as it did last time. Here's another Black Widow. So if that's the gold, I think I also had a green sapphire to 99 in this submission. I did, but this one, gems. Cool. Gem mint on the 8 of 99 sapphire green Black Widow. That's our third gem so far. All right, now to the actual Topps Chrome set. Here you see here is one of the Spider-Man Gold inserts. So these are 2 per case in Topps Chrome Marvel. This one's SG10. So the last of the inserts here. This one got a gem in 10. Cool. So we made it from the cover of Amazing Spider-Man number 29 on this one. So another gem on the books. Here's another one. This one is SG9 from Monsters Unleashed. So I believe this has Devil Dinosaur on it. It does. And it also got a gem in 10. There we go. Another Spidey Gold and a gem in 10. And those inserts are 2 per case, unless you get a numbered one. So far, our gems just tied our 9s. So let's see what we can do with our base cards. Here's a Lockjaw. A green Lockjaw that got a gem, mint 10. On the ever so popular 69 of 99. For the good old boy from the Inhumans. There we go. And gems have officially taken the lead, which is good to see. Still no Pristines yet, but at least we're getting some more gems out of this submission. Here's Leo Fowley. Another green to 99, another gem, mint 10. And as with before, I noted, given what the kind of little cardboard setup that they submit these or send this back in, I will go over with a nice little microfiber to get this cardboard dust off of these slabs before I sleeve them. All right, on to Galactus. Again, I said before, he'll be making his MCU debut in a couple months now with the Fantastic Four First Steps. This one is another green and yet another gem, mint 10. So these true green refractors are doing a lot better this time around for CGC than we have with PSA. Again, like I said before in previous submissions, those trues are a little bit tough to gem at PSA. On to Vision. Here we have a purple to 75 that got a 9.5. So our first 9.5 mint plus of our submission, and this is on the density shifting Vision right there. So we have officially gone to our 5th different grade so far. Next up, John Ironfire on a green gamma ray wave, and like with the true greens, this also got a gem, mint 10. A 13 out of 99. So gems still leading the way. Still haven't seen a Pristine yet. Rep on a true green. Little mirror number 66 of 99. This one, though, only gets the mint 9 on this rep, which you can kind of definitely see left-right centering is not as good as some of the others right there. But we'll take a 9. All right, Iron Man. So we did gem out a web fractor Iron Man. I think this is another web refractor. It is, but this one only gets the mint 9 on this one. And again, centering not clean, not as good as I think the other one was. So that makes sense. I think I said this before in the last submission with our CGC reveal. So far, fairly fair grades, even with the 8.5s and the 8s that we got in high tech. I did notice some surface issues that made it not surprising that I got those grades. So there we go. All right, on to the PC of Cyclops. This one is a green, and this one got a mint plus 9.5. So again, submitted a lot of true greens and green refractors out of in this as a part of this submission. So our second 9.5. I do think I already have that. And here we go. So looking at the color of this on this pink lasers to 992 from 92 Masterpieces 92 Platinum Silver Surfer. This one actually I think is the same one that we pulled in our physical box, actually, which only numbered hit. But looking at the shading of that, this should say a nice Pristine 10. That is nice. So black label CGC, Pristine 10, meaning all these subcomponents of these surface, corners, edging, and centering are all 10s on this nice Silver Surfer out of Masterpieces 92. Sweet. So there is our first Pristine. Let's see if we can get any more out of this. So we're moved on from our Topps Chrome Marvel and onto our Masterpieces part of our submission. All right, here we go with the blue tracks, another variant cover. This time of Iron Man. I think the last one we got a 9. This one also gets a 9 on the blue tracks variant cover of Iron Man. So there we go with that. Next on up, that should be it. I guess that's it for our Masterpieces. Onto our Grego. So this is this year's annual Grego Masterpieces set. So one of the last sets that Upper Deck made for Marvel. Here's one of the holofoil inserts. This one's a Black Widow. This is a tinsel to 149. And this one is a 9. So 9 on the tinsel holofoil. There you go. Let's see what else we got here. These are definitely thicker slabs, as I can feel them. Here's a Ghost Spider. This one to 3, the variant cover to 399 right here. And this one also gets a 9. So nice little Ghost Spider variant cover from the Grego Masterpieces of 2024. And I think our 9s have taken back the lead. Next up, more Ghost Spider. This time is the Gold Signature Series. So you get one of these per pack out of Masterpieces. And this one also gets a 9. On these Gold Signature Series. All right. Let's see, we can't find another Pristine. I would love to see another Pristine. All right, on to Star-Lord. Again, from the Grego Masterpieces. This is an Epic Purple to 199. And this one gets an 8.5. Again, these thicker cards, usually tougher to grade, so not too surprising. A lot of times it's the foiling around the edges. Surface issues tend to be a little more prevalent, corners. So pretty much all of them. You can actually see it down here. That corner is coming up a little bit in the foiling. But still a nice card. And moving more into the Wrecker, we have a Legendary Orange to 99. And this one gets a 9. Wrecker, leader of the Wrecking Crew. They were won't say featured, but did have a little bit part in She-Hulk TV series. All right. Next, we have Hawkeye on an emerald green to 25. This one gets an 8.5. Again, this one, I think I knew there was some either corner or surface issues that I knew was not going to gem at PSA, hence I sent it here. You can already see that corner down there. I think there was another corner over here that I saw that was coming up. Like the corner is going to fairly soft on these thicker cards, so not surprised that this got an 8.5. If I thought it was a gem, I think this was a big enough card that I would have sent to PSA. So I did send a couple of my Grego masterpieces to PSA. All right, that's it. So no gems out of Grego PSA, or Grego masterpieces. On to some matriarchs. So we have a numbered medallion to 100. So this should be a platinum medallion of Captain Marvel. That gets an 8. Again, thicker card from Clear Ultra. Not too surprising with that. Also, it'd be interesting to see what they use as references for the top bottom centering, because definitely see there's a lot more room down here from the kind of the border, the design border, than it is up there. But still a very nice looking card. So another 8 there. All right. On to some Marvel. This is going to be Metal Universe Avengers. One of the more popular sets that came out in the past year because the PMGs just flew out, including one red PMG for me of Titania to 100. So here's a red PMG. That gets a 9. I'll take that. Red PMG to 9. Again, lower tier character. Wasn't thrilled with the portrayal in She-Hulk, but I'll take it. A mint PMG is hard to find. Alrighty, let's see if yep, and now we're finally into our Looney Tunes. Starting with this Jeff Bergman voice actor auto of Sylvester. So I did get charged another $2 for the auto on this one. I got an 8.5 and a 9 on the auto. So there you go with that. Again, new. I said before with these Looney Tunes cards, mostly paper, prone to these bad corners, edges, and usually up there too. So not too surprised on that grade. And again, with the grade on the auto, he did go off sticker, which is probably why he got the 9 on that auto. Alrighty. Rave review again of Sylvester. Again, one of those chase inserts. It's a die cut, so as I said before, die cuts are fairly tough with the corners and edges. That can be an issue, and this also gets a 9.5 or 8.5. Near Mint Plus on another Sylvester. All right, on to some lenticulars. This is the catchphrases of That's a Joke, Son from Foghorn Leghorn. Another chase insert that gets a 9. Do like this set. I thought some of these should grade okay. I do believe the acetate cards actually are probably the best things to grade out of this set. But these lenticulars can be hit or miss. Again, similar to the Genesis series. The front may look good, but the back is what you want to look for in terms of surface issues, corners, edges, stuff like that. But I'll definitely take a 9 on a set that does not come out with a lot of gem mints. All right, more from Looney Tunes and the catchphrases again. Bugs Bunny, he has 3 actually catchphrases. This is the "What a Maroon." And this one gets an 8.5. So there you go on that. Not too surprising. You can see that corner's coming up a little bit there. All right, so 9's definitely taking the lead. 8.5s are actually almost catching up to our 10s though. Doubt we're going to see another Pristine if we're just doing Fleer Retro right now, but hopefully we can get at least another 9 or another something. All right, here's Cal again on the catchphrase, and this one also gets an 8.5. So there you go with that on this cool looking lenticular. Do have a handful of these lenticulars. I am building the set, so. Alrighty. On to the Frog. Michigan J. Frog on his famous song. This one gets an 8. Now, one thing I did notice on this one, and unfortunately one thing I noted when I got this off of eBay, is it wasn't very well protected. So some of the, there were definitely issues on the back of the car that were more prevalent, that might have been prevented if it was better protected in the during shipping from eBay, but it's all right. Again, not too worried about the grades, especially on a set like this. I just want it nice and preserved. There you go. Another 8. All right. More catchphrases. Again, trying to build the set, so I have a lot of them. Here's Roadrunner. And this one gets an 8.5. Probably one of the most popular characters in Looney Tunes. All right, still not done. Another catchphrase, this time of Speedy Gonzales. And this one also gets an 8.5. All right, just 3 more to go. Here we have one of the 86 Fleer. This Daffy Duck on the 86 Fleer. These I know a lot of people were chasing because they figured, again, very nostalgic set, those in the basketball game, and things that might grade decently. In this case, this one got a 9. So it did get another 9, which I was hoping for. Daffy on the 86 Fleer. All right. Not to be deterred, we do have at least one red PMG here out of this set, this time of Cal. And this one also gets a 9. Nice. So both are red PMGs so far. One out of Metal Avengers universe, and here out of Retro Looney Tunes, both got 9s, so I'll definitely take that. And finally, here we have a Retro Rubies, again of Cal, so these Retro Rubies are to 50. And this one gets a 9.5, nice. So ending strong with the red PMG, Cal coming up clutch actually, with that red PMG and the Star Rubies 9.5 5. So I'll definitely take that. Cool. So that was it. All 42 there. Pretty, you know what? I don't mind that again. So we did get 3 8s there. A lot more 8.5s, but again, most of these came from the Fleer Retro Looney Tunes set, which I'm not too surprised. I figured that we were going to get more of those 8s, maybe in 7s. So getting 8.5s, again, that's from the Retro Looney Tunes, and the rest I think were, yeah, they're scattered. So there we go with that. Not too surprising with that. Again, 9s did lead the way with our submission. We did get a few more 9.5s. 2 from Topps Chrome Marvel and 1, surprisingly, from Fleer Retro Looney Tunes, which I'll definitely take. 10s. We were, again, all over the map with our 10s. Mostly from Topps Chrome Marvel. Actually, almost all from Topps Chrome Marvel, outside of a couple of Star Wars there. But we did get our 1 Pristine Black Label out of 92 Platinum. So, cool. I'll take that. So, as I said, that actually I think is the last of my CGC submissions. Took it over a little over 2 months. I do have a bulk submission from PSA that is actually about to get shipped, so you should see that somewhat soon. I do have another bulk submission sitting at PSA that's still in research and ID that will probably take another month or so at least. So with that, I do have a handful of cards that I do want to send off for grading, but I'm probably going to hold off until PSA and CGC kind of get through their queue and can accommodate more of these bulk submissions. So that's it for now. Again, hopefully you'll stay tuned once we get our next PSA submission, which should be here shortly. As always, if you like content like this, please let me know by hitting like and subscribe. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by.